That evening was meant to be the happiest in 20-year-old Emily's life. Her boyfriend, Daniel, had proposed to her in an intimate family gathering. There was a ring, though he hadn't knelt, too proud for that, but his words had been tender, straight out of a romance movie. Emily said yes. They'd met just 6 months earlier. Emily and her friends were celebrating the end of exams at a cozy cafe. Raised by a single mother, good grades meant a boost to her scholarship, so the occasion deserved cheers. Daniel, sitting alone at a nearby table, had just been dumped by his girlfriend. She'd shown up for their date only to coldly announce, "I don't love you anymore," before walking out. Stunned, Daniel stared at his cooling espresso until laughter from Emily's table broke through his gloom. He turned and saw her, bright-eyed, cheeks dimpled as she laughed. When their eyes met, Emily blushed. Without hesitation, Daniel walked over. "Mind if I join you?" he asked, though his gaze never left Emily. Before anyone answered, he gestured to a waiter. "4 mojitos, please." Emily's boldest friend grinned. "Sure, especially if you're buying." Daniel charmed the group with jokes and stories, lingering by shy Emily. By night's end, he discreetly paid the tab and left. The girls assumed he'd fled, but Emily later learned he'd spent the money meant for his ex's ring on their celebration. "I should thank her," Daniel told family at their engagement dinner. "If she hadn't left, I'd never have heard Emily's laugh." Their relationship flowed effortlessly. Emily, pragmatic and kind, won over Daniel's parents. As he finished medical school, they decided not to wait. He proposed after graduation. Both were radiant, until disaster struck. Driving home from his parents' countryside house, Daniel swerved to avoid a reckless SUV. Their car veered into a ditch. Miraculously, they survived, but Daniel was hospitalized with a spinal injury. "I'm going with him," Emily insisted, but medics refused. He needed ICU care. "Rest," urged Daniel's mother, Helen. "We'll take you to him tomorrow." But by morning, Emily had vanished. Calls went unanswered. Helen rushed to the hospital. No sign of her. Emily's roommate claimed she hadn't returned. A day later, Emily's mother coldly informed Helen, "She's done with your family. You nearly killed her." Stunned, Helen confided in her husband, Edward, who shrugged. "Tell Daniel she left because of his injury. He'll move on." Daniel, however, had already received a text from Emily's number. "It's over. Forgive me. Guess that's my fate," he murmured. After recovery, he took a residency in a remote town, unable to face memories. 15 years passed. Daniel's love life crumbled. A doomed affair, a stint abroad, his father's sudden death. Returning home, he worked at his mother's hospital, drifting into another short-lived romance. On the day that relationship ended, he wandered into the fateful cafe, and there she was. Emily, timeless, trailed by a teenage boy mirroring his younger self. "Hello, Daniel," she said, steadying herself. "Meet Colin, your brother." Daniel froze. Later, over coffee, Emily unraveled the truth. The night of the accident, Edward had drugged her tea. "He assaulted me. I couldn't stay. When I realized I was pregnant, your father supported us. Colin knows him as his dad, but not the details." Daniel's voice cracked. "Forgive me. For him. For everything. I've made peace. Colin's my blessing." They rekindled cautiously. Daniel helped enroll Colin in community college, driving Emily home. Months later, he proposed again. She accepted. The final hurdle, Helen. Spotting Colin at the hospital, she assumed he was Daniel's secret son. Colin played along, sparing the ugly truth. Relieved, Helen embraced their reunion. "As long as you're happy," she said, eyes glistening. Daniel and Emily married, blending their past and future. 2 more children followed, their family bound by forgiveness and a love that outlasted time. In the end, Emily's grace and Daniel's unwavering heart turned tragedy into a second chance, proof that some bonds, once forged, can never break.